Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Beena and this is Walter, and welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, then you'll know that I don't generally talk on my videos, but I thought I'd give it a go. Add a little bit of narration to this ride so you can learn a little bit about me and Walter. And yeah, we'll give it a go. I'm not the most confident of people. It really isn't my thing to be talking to camera, so forgive me if I'm a little stuttering and faltering. I talk nonsense. Bear with me. Like I say, I'm not particularly good at this kind of thing. I'm autistic, so it's a bit difficult for me to express myself at times, but hopefully this will go okay. What will go okay is a ride in the beautiful Woburn Abbey grounds here. You can see just over there there's a load of deer. There's quite a few deer in here actually. Oh, someone just stopped to admire the deer. Can't blame them. Also quite a lot of red kites around here, which are always beautiful to see. I'm very fortunate actually to live in a part of the country. Hello. Live in a part of the country which has quite a big red kite population. It's a real success story. Reintroducing them and the breeding programs to bring them back from the brink. And you often see them circling around by my house. It's a bit strange. You go to local Morrison's in the middle of a council estate and there's just red kites just circling around everywhere. Very nice to see. Oh, some people enjoying a Sunday ride like me. Nice. So yeah, the weather. Oh, got some deer coming across here. They're going to come running across. Look at those, beautiful, some white ones. You can't see this at all because the camera's on my chest. You have to be careful riding down here, driving down here, because they do run across the road, and sadly there is a sign that which asks people to reduce their speed, and it gives a little tally of the number of deer that have been killed. There's a red kite up there. How many deer have been killed in the year? I don't know why you'd want to speed through there anyway, it's beautiful. Completely lost my train of thought there. Ah, weather, yeah, of course. I'm an Englishman, why wouldn't I be talking about the weather? The weather has been absolutely atrocious for the last week. It's been absolutely paying it down. And like 11 degrees centigrade. It doesn't feel particularly June-like. So I haven't been able to get out and about on my bike. On my bike. Walter, he has a name. So yeah, it was nice today to see the sun come out. I say to see the sun come out, it was raining this morning, but the sun has come out. It's apparently going to stay like this for a few hours, so we're going to make the most of it. So, a little bit about myself then, and my motorcycling history. Well, I came relatively late to motorcycling. I was in my 30s. I come from a family of people, motorcycle riders. My dad used to have Norton Dominator. I used to ride around in that. My brother always had various motorcycles, generally, I guess you'd call them, what you call them now, motocross bikes, so Duro bikes, I guess you'd call them. He's an absolute maniac on them. One of my uncles, he used to collect and show vintage Triumphs from the 20s and 30s. My granddad used to have a motorcycling sidecar. So motorcycling's kind of in the family blood. And I always wanted one, but because I was a good boy, Mum didn't want me to have one. I abided by her wishes and didn't get one. And then I got into my 30s and decided no, I might have to have one. And I've never been one for excessive speed, not really into that kind of thing. I was more into the classic looking bikes. I don't know whether it's because of granddads and uncles and my dad with their kind of old 60s bikes and whatnot. But I just think that they're more beautiful than these plastic looking angular modern machines. There's nothing wrong with those per se. And when I go through what bikes I've had, you'll hear I'm a bit of a hypocrite, because I have had one. But yeah, initially I really wanted a retro bike, and I fell in love with the Bonneville Retro Classics, and I really wanted the Bonneville Scrambler, the 900 Scrambler. I couldn't afford one of those, so when I took my test, got my first bike, I got a second-hand Kawasaki Zephyr 550, which is a kind of retro-ish looking bike. Not everyone's cup of tea, but I really liked it. It's very shiny, and it was quite slow, easy to ride, so it was great to cut my teeth on that. Make my mistakes whilst not going particularly quickly. Hello. So I had that for a little while, and I used to commute on that, 60 miles a day, in all weather. Absolutely loved it. And then I got made redundant. It was during the recession of 2008-2009. Got made redundant, and fortunately I managed to find a new job quite quickly. So I used some of my redundancy money to buy a used Bonneville Scrambler, and it was a 2006 model, so it's a carbureted model. It had Triumph off-road pipes on it. Off-road in inverted commas basically means straight through, and it sounded absolutely amazing. Oh, it sounded so good, and I love that bike. It was great. The only problem I found with it was quite top heavy, so it became a little bit unmanageable at times. But for the most part, it was beautiful. It fitted me well. I was 6'1", so it was quite a tall bike. Riding position was lovely, plenty of grunt. Yeah, it was a really nice bike. But as is always the case, the new and the shiny allure took hold of me, and when I took it in for service one day, it's very bumpy. Took it in for service one day, and I took out a Street Triple, 675 Street Triple, as a loaner bike, and within, I'm not kidding, within maybe 5-10 minutes being out on it, I got caught speeding in mobile speed trap. I wasn't going excessive, I was probably doing 50, and it used to be a 40 and then changed it to a 30, and I got caught doing 40. And even though that happened, I thought, wow, this bike is great. It had loads of grunt, it sounded incredible when you got it round to 9,000-10,000 RPM. Howled, absolutely howled. It was a wonderful bike, real hooligan. So I traded in my Bonneville about a year later and got one of those. And I rode that for a little while, and I really enjoyed it, and I commuted on that. I'd changed job, obviously, so my commute was now through town centres. And it had a lap timer function on the ignition button, whereas when you pushed it, it started a lap timer, and then you pushed it again, it stopped it. And I was using that to see how quickly I could get to work. I might commute in the morning, and I got it down to 7 minutes, and that's meaningless to to you, dear watcher, because you don't know what my commute was like. But believe me, it was a stupidly fast time. It was an absolute weapon, that bike, for commuting. But I thought, okay, after a while I thought, this is stupid, it's a bit dangerous, it wants to go everywhere at 90 miles an hour, it wants to wheelie everywhere. Yes, I'm either going to kill myself or lose my licence, so I thought I'd better sell it. So I traded it in for a Motor Guzzi V7 Classic. It was the 90th anniversary, I think it's the 90th anniversary edition, in pearl white. It was a beautiful looking thing, and it was really nice to ride, but I must admit I never really gelled with it that much. It just I didn't bond with it the same way that I bonded with the Bonneville, or indeed the Triple. But that didn't matter much anyway, because I then had an accident on it. So ironically, after buying it so that I didn't have an accident, I ended up having an accident. It was quite a low speed one. I was commuting home one night. I'd changed job again, and I was working somewhere else. Relatively long commute. And I was commuting in. Let me out. Thank you very much, mate. I was commuting home on a dark winter's evening. It's cold. It was wet. I just got onto a roundabout, and someone pulled out. Didn't bother to get away. Pulled out in front of me, and I slammed the brakes on. And the front wheel tucked. I hadn't long been riding out of the office, so tyres were pretty cold. Front wheel tucked, I went down, I broke my hand, a couple of fingers, banged my knee and shoulder up. Wasn't too bad, but it put me out of action for a while, because I lost power, I lost my gripping power in my right hand, which isn't ideal, because that's your main braking hand, your throttle hand. So I couldn't really ride for ages. And I also during that time got a bad back. I got prolapsed disc in my back, which meant that I couldn't really drive a car comfortably, let alone ride a bike. I couldn't really sit on a sofa that comfortably, truth be told. It was a pretty grim time. So at that point I thought, well, that's it, my motorbiking days are over. I sold the Guzzi. I repaired it from the crash, sold it on. I thought, that's it, that'll do. And that was it for 12 years, until last year, 2013. I was on YouTube, and I just came across a video of someone on a Royal Enfield Interceptor, and I wasn't aware of these at all. I just lost touch with the motorcycling world completely. I didn't keep up with it. I thought it's pointless, it's just going to make me sad that I can't ride. So yeah, I didn't know what was going on in the motorcycling world and what the trends were. Like I said, back when I first started biking, I really liked retro classics, and they were a bit of a niche thing. Back then, no one was that into them. They were I guess it was just starting to get popular with the introduction of the Triumph retro classics. Let's go. No, let's keep going down there. So yeah, I like those, and I kind of liked adventure bikes, and again, they were kind of a niche thing, which I think again was about to start to get popular with the long way round, the long way down with Ewan and Charlie. But for the most part, I think it was like naked bikes, and like Street Triple, and your usual crotch rockets. So when I saw this Royal Enfield Interceptor, I thought, oh, okay, interesting. Wonder what that's about. watched some more videos, and then learned that I think it was in 2019 it was the UK's biggest selling model. I thought, wow, that's really interesting, because again, back when I was riding, Royal Enfield were kind of viewed as a little bit old-fashioned, fuddy-duddy, pretty poor quality, unreliable. And now all of a sudden they've got the most popular bike in the UK. So I started researching more, and then I came across the let's go down here. I came across the Classic 350, and I saw that and thought, wow, that is a very pretty bike. I would like one of those. And the more videos I watched of it, the more I fell in love with it. And I liked the idea that it was quite low powered, so it was just for bimbling around country roads, which really appealed to me. So I thought, okay, I want one, I have to have one, I need one. So I started buying all the gear again. So I've thrown everything away, I've thrown all my gear away. And I had some nice gear as well, which is a bit annoying. So I bought all the gear again, I started saving for the bike. Now, obviously, like most people, I think, when I saw the Classic 350, I thought, I really want the red and chrome one, because it's really pretty, isn't it? It's a really pretty version. So I went down to my local dealership to have a look, and they didn't have one in stock. And I was a bit disappointed. But what they did have in stock was the signals, both variants. But I really fell in love with the very, going down there, yes I am, with the really am I going down there? Oh we are now. Yeah, sorry, I fell in love with the very badly named Marsh Grey variant, which, as everyone knows who's seen it in the flesh or in proper pictures, not the ones that are on the Royal Enfield site, it's actually green and not grey. And I really like the aesthetic. I thought, yeah, that's great. I like the army style. Oh, hello pigeon. And also like the fact that it had a blacked out engine and that matte grey paint job, which meant that I wouldn't have to be polishing and cleaning it all the while, because I have to confess I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to that. So I thought, yeah, that looks ideal for me. So I thought, right, that's the one. That's definitely what I'm having. So the kit. So this was before I started buying my gear. So I really think I've come the wrong way here. So I started buying gear that would actually go with it. Oh yeah, that's right. I know where I am. Let's get this way. So these gloves that I'm wearing here are, as you can see, they're kind of military looking. They're the, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. Doesn't matter. I bought a nice green jacket. Bought a couple of green jackets. This one and the summer one. I thought it'd go nice with the aesthetics. So that was, I decided that was the one I was going to get, and I started saving. And then, oh, that was a very strong smell of weed there. That was nice for someone to be driving around smoking weed. So then I was looking again on YouTube and online, as you do when you're deciding to buy something and then obsessing over it and reading absolutely everything you can about it and watching every conceivable video you can find about it. I then came across the new Bullet 350s, and in particular the black and gold variant, which is what lovely Walter here is, and I just thought it was the most beautiful bike I'd ever seen, and I had to have it. So I changed my mind again, but this time it stuck. And a few weeks later I was off to a different dealership, Superb dealership in Eastern Wardit in Northamptonshire, to have a test ride of the Bullet, and they didn't have the black and gold one, they just had the regular black with the chrome, but it had the gold pinstripes on, but it was the chrome detailing. Yeah, and I gave it a test ride, and so that was the first time that I'd ridden a bike in about 12-13 years, and I must confess I was very nervous and I was very rusty, and I wobbled along a little bit and after about 10 minutes I got cramp so bad in my right hip because I was so tensed up that I had to pull over on the side of the road and stand and stretch for 5 minutes to get feeling back. But I thought, yes, this is what I've been missing. I need this back in my life. So I put a deposit down there and then. And I picked Walter up 3 weeks later. And the dealership I went to was a good hour and 15, hour and a half away from my house, and it's through country roads like this really. So it was a bit of a daunting prospect for my first proper ride. It'd be a fairly lengthy ride. Not challenging roads, but roads I was unfamiliar with. But I thought, you know what, it'd be a bit of a baptism of fire. It would do me good to practice a bit. So yeah, I picked it up, rode it home. It was a beautiful day in May, 20 degrees, lovely and sunny, and I had an absolute blast. So much fun. So that was about 6 weeks ago, and I've put almost 700 miles on him. Oh, look at that, 700.3 miles. I have put 700 miles on him since then. He's had his first service, and it's just been absolutely marvellous. Really enjoyed it. One of the reasons main reasons I wanted to get back into biking again was for mental health reasons. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I am autistic, so life's difficult. It's difficult traversing life on a day-to-day basis at times, and I've had some pretty rough years the last 2 or 3 years, with problems at work, problems dealing with people, problems with awful employees. So I needed something to boost my mental health. And as many men know, motorcycling is a wonderful thing for your mental health. A lot of men do it for exactly that reason, to help improve their state of mind, to try and get away from the worries that they have, problems they may have in the world, to reach a almost zen-like state. And that's what I've been doing. I think traditionally us men have been difficult. Men have been haven't really wanted to speak about our mental health. It's been a bit of a taboo subject, not just for men either. I think mental health in the past has been viewed as a bit of a taboo conversation to be having, and thankfully it's getting a lot better these days. People are more willing to talk about it and open up, support each other. And whoa, look at that, it's a kite carrying a pheasant off. Something you see every day, is it? Sorry, that completely derailed my train of thought there. That was really cool. Talking about mental health, yeah, and it's daft really, isn't it, that you don't talk about, or people have thought talking about mental health issues was a no-no, because if you broke your leg, you had a pain in your leg, you'd get the doctors about it, you'd talk to your friends and family about it. So, oh, my bloody leg hurts. So why is it any different if your mind's a little bit broken? It is no different. So if you do have problems with your mental health, speak to people about it. Speak to friends, speak to your family, speak to a healthcare professional if you need to, but do speak about it, because it's important to get better. You know, you may feel like you're in a bad place, you may feel hopeless sometimes, and like there's no way out, but there is always a way out. There's always a fix. So make sure you're having those conversations. This is a fabulous bit of road. It says changing the subject to bring it back up a little bit. Yeah, fabulous bit of road. A little bit of a burn down. This is 60 miles an hour, which Walter does quite happily. Especially now I've put the DNA performance air filter and cover on. It's certainly less wheezy now that that's on. And it sounds great as well. It's a nice little induction roar. At the end of this month I'm going to buy the Hitchcock's decat pipe for him and complete that. Free flowing modification to it, so hopefully that will make him feel a little bit more peppy again. Oh, you may not be able to hear me down there because the wind is pretty strong. That's at 60 miles an hour. We'll be getting back down to regular speeds in a moment, so bear with me. This is Magpie. Nice little blast. Bring it back down a bit. Hopefully you can hear me still. Oh, I don't know what that was. It hit me in the shoulder. Be a bumblebee, I hope not. Right, it's better. Back down to 30. The person behind me doesn't want to be doing that apparently. I mean, you're going to have to wait, mate, because that's the speed limit. So anyway, this is my first speaking video over. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't and you'd rather I just shut my gob so you can listen to Walter instead, then let me know in the comments. Maybe in future I'll just do a little bit of me talking and a lot of Walter talking, or vice versa. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, wherever you are, I hope you're having a nice day. I hope the weather's good so you can get out on your bikes, enjoy yourself. Remember to ride safely, keep it shiny side up, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, bye!